Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new League Racing video on this channel. It's gonna be the last one as well on the F125 game until the F126 DLC comes out, but that's a whole different story. And you might be wondering why, because after this race there's still 2 races remaining, but I just decided to take a break from League Racing. Obviously we have had a lot of League Race already on F125. F1 Esports is not announced yet, but need to start preparing for that. And I felt like, doing another 2 extra league races was just not going to be ideal. Want to take a little break from the game before we start fully grinding again for another F1 Esports championship. And yeah, I felt like if I didn't, then I wouldn't be on my very best for F1 Esports. So that's why I'm not doing the last 2 rounds of WR. Obviously there's been quite a few delays with WR as well due to poor attendance, which made it longer than usual. Or yeah, the championship longer than usual. So yeah, our plan got changed a little bit because of that. But yeah, in the end of the day, not the end of the world. Obviously it means we will not be fighting for the title in WR anymore, but yeah, in the end of the day, F1 Esports is the most important one, and that's the one we want to win. So that's why today's race is the last one. Q1 though went really well. Single set of tires used, and into Q2 we go on a single set of tires, and that means if we make it to Q3, we got 2 new sets for Q3, and that is crucial. Only one that was faster than us in that first lap was Danny Beresnay. So yeah, used tires go on for the first run in Q2 as always, and yeah, not a bad split to be honest for used tires. You always lose a lot of time in this last sector though due to used tires. So yeah, it's especially around Abu Dhabi not really representative of what lap time you do, because it's not really gonna matter for the rest of the session, as new tires will give you a big advantage around here. Almost the softest compounds available with the C5. So yeah, into our first new tire when we go, which is Lawrence with a 20.908. He got pole position in PSGL. Was really fast around here. We're gonna try and beat that lap time. Currently we are 4.7 tenths up as we head into the final 2 corners. And this is actually going to be quite a tidy lap. Across the line we're going to go, it's a 121.074. P3, but actually make that P4 as Ismail Fassi went over the line. Not bad, but probably not enough to make it into Q3. So we're going to need a small improvement. I'm quite sure of that. So final run in Q2. And we need a tidy one. This turn 1 is always really hard. Grip seems to be a little bit random because of those curbs. And yeah, lost for feedback as well, which is never ideal. Yeah, I actually can't believe that still has not been fixed. I think, well over 200 laps on my set of Corsa. Maybe even 300 or 400. I'm not sure. I didn't exactly count. I was having the time of my life last weekend or the weekend before. I was just grinding a set of Corsa low fuel motorsport races, and I did not lose for feedback once. So that kind of just confirms to me that it's not the wheelbase that's broken. It's just an issue between Fanatec and the game, or a game issue. I'm not sure. Loads of other esports drivers have the exact same issue, so perhaps it's connected with the software of the wheelbase in the game. I don't know, but yeah, it would be nice if it would get fixed eventually. At least for F127, you know, 2 years should be enough, but you never know. Into the final corner we go, and we're up by 700s, 800s, and that puts us P2. Turn 1, of course, we lost quite a bit of time. Last corner I took really safe because I knew that I didn't need much to make it into Q3.
First of the losers. Come on.
As our in-game engineer, still has 5 brain cells, just like always, thinking that Q2 matters to be P1 or P2 or P3. But 800 is behind Otis Lawrence. Into Q3 we go, 2 sets of tires. And actually Danny Berezne with 2 sets of tires as well, went through into Q2 with a single run out in Q2. And that's just how close it is. A little mistake or it's just the tiniest issue and you're out on this level. You need to be on top of it. Non-stop. Every lap has to be on it in order to consistently make it into Q3. I think there's not a single driver on the grid in WR or PSL that has made it to Q3 every single time. So yeah, first run in Q3 and we did a bad lap. It's going to be a 120.867. Don't even get me started. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it in the comments. I do not get the joke. I'm too old for it. But yeah, I think that lap time was already faster than what we did in PSL. Actually, that was definitely faster than what we did in PSL because we were out in Q1 in PSL. This is a day after, and yeah, as you can see, we're doing much better. I always learn a lot from that first race in PSL, and then I always improve a lot relative to the rest of the grid. So into the second sector we go, and we are up by 300s on Otis Lawrence, and that was quite tidy. Turn 5 there. You can see half a tent up to our previous lap, and this is being really clean so far. Into the chicane we go. This is where you can gain so much time if you get it right. A little bit missed on the apex, unfortunately, and that's going to cost us all the way through here. And as you can see, we're up 1.5 tenths at some point. But yeah, now we've lost half a tenth to our previous lap again, and that's very unfortunate. I think there was probably another half a tenth to our banker lap in there, and unfortunately we just didn't get it right. Into the final sector we go. This is where we can gain a lot of time once again. Got the apex nicely, got the traction down, and unfortunately we just picked up understeer there mid-corner. And that invalidates our lap, unfortunately, but because we don't quite...
to fucking nowhere.
Because we got a solid banker run in. We're still going to be P6 here in Q3. Not ideal. I think we definitely had the pace to improve. I think that was quite obvious in this session. But it's only going to be P6, unfortunately. And yeah, as you can see there, Otis with a 20.6 to 1. That's a very good lap. Got pole by 2 tenths, which, yeah, on this grid is a huge margin, of course. So yeah, once again he got pole. He got pole yesterday in PSL as well, or the day before WR, and now he got pole again. I think, yeah, we would have not beaten that even if we even got the chicane right and didn't make a lot of mistakes in the lap. We would have gotten P2, and I think we would have, you know, gotten a little bit of a margin on Kian, but yeah, unfortunately didn't get the lap together, and we're gonna have to do it from P6 on the grid, which is not the end of the world. That's okay-ish, you know, but we want more. We need to gain 5 positions in this race, and league racing on a high. That is the aim. Yesterday in PSL we did a 2-stop. That was obviously from the back of the grid. Today we're not gonna do that. We're going to do a bit more of a normal strategy, although, you know, strategies can always be weird. Like sometimes weird strategy works, sometimes they don't. It really depends on what happens in the race. But we're going to be starting on the mediums once again, just like a lot of people around us. Apart from the Ferrari, he's not fast in P3 on the hards. There's some ghosting going on. I'm not sure why. That happened last week as well in Vegas. But yeah, there we go. First few corners.
P1, P3 hard.
Not taking a lot of risk yet. Kind of waiting and looking around what's happening, trying to find a gap to go for. We are now Ismail Fassi got ahead of us, and he's on the hard. So we got an advantage for a short amount of time. I need to try and use that. Into the chicane we go. And unfortunately, we couldn't really make a move, and this is costing us a lot of time. There's 2 people that absolutely dive-bombed. One went around the outside, one went down the inside, and yeah, of course, if I turn in, it's probably not my fault, but do not want to end my race with a DNF. So obviously, gotta be mindful because there's still a lot to learn in this race. Trying to find a way through, and Ismail Fassi down the inside we go. That was nearly contact under braking. Really struggling to get the car to turn under braking with the dirt here, and unfortunately around the outside that's not going to work. We need to try and find a way into the final corner, but once again, can't find our way through there, and it looks like we're not going to be capable of going for a move on Ismail Fassi because the tire advantage is going to fade really, really fast. Start of lap 11, first person ahead of us has boxed. We're still staying out. One car behind us has boxed as well, one of the Haas cars. So, yeah, Otis in P1 has broken away because I think P2 boxed. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. But as you can see there, Ismail Fassi on the hards in P2 might be able to catch him back up. So, man behind Jan Halliday and Jake Benham now.
So, as it stands, we're joining close to Pookie. He does not have DRS right now.
And yeah, we're going to be heading into the box for an undercut on Jake Benham. That's the aim, and perhaps we can go for an overtake on Jan Halliday on the outlap. That would be very, very nice. But that's easier said than done, of course. Due to the fact we're going to be in cold tires, heading out of the pits.
Alright, so I believe we're joining close to Pookie, probably behind.
And you might be thinking, well, Jan is on cold tires as well, but relatively, if you're in dirty air, you lose more grip if you're on cold tires because you already got so little. So, yeah, trying to get these tires at the temperature as fast as possible, but they still need to do 18 laps as well in this race. So, out we go, 4 tenths behind. We got DRS on the next straight, but it's going to be tough getting this move done. We will have to waste all of our battery in order
no DRS car ahead.
In order to make this move. And that's what we're going to try and do, of course, but at the same time, we cannot completely run out of battery because Duncan Hovland is only 1.3 behind. We need to be careful that, yeah, if cars that didn't box yet come out, that we do not have any battery, because then we'll just get swallowed up in a train of cars, which is not what we want. Couldn't get close enough to Jan there, so we're going to have to wait maybe a lap and just try again. Because obviously he used a lot of battery as well in order to stay ahead of us, and yeah, that's just what we got to keep in mind. So recharging again in this last sector. There's not really an overtaking opportunity in this last sector anyway, and then we're going to try again. That is the aim here. Into the final corner we go, and only 3 tenths behind, but obviously the closer we get behind, the harder it is to follow closely. So we gotta play this smart. Into turn 1 we go, and 3.1 tenths the gap. And now I felt like this was a good overtaking opportunity. We're gonna turn on the overtake button, go for the move, but it's difficult to follow in the dirty air through there. So now we're gonna go into turn 5 down the inside.
Why did you turn in, man?
And unfortunately that didn't work.
Completely next to him, just fucking turns in.
And now we get Jake Benham 7 tenths behind on 1 lap fresher tire. So yeah, we used all of our battery here, but we need to be careful of Jake behind as well, because he's going to be on fresher tires, probably on a full battery, and we need to keep him behind as well. So yeah, again, using a little bit on the exit here.
1 lap on us.
Trying to still go for a move, but yeah, this is not a huge braking zone, so it's very difficult to really go for a move. You can see there, Nicolas Longe in P14, he has not boxed.
Longe out on old hard.
When did he box?
He did not box yet.
Ah. Okay.
And yeah, I think he's holding up for someone, I'm not sure for who. But yeah, we're gonna go around the outside in the second last corner. He pushes off the track, which, yeah, I'm not sure
what is he even doing.
He's doing, but we're gonna get the move done in turn 1 anyway, because he's not gonna have enough grip around the outside to really challenge us. So he runs up the track, and then now we're up to P16, which I think it's a net P4 or P5. There's a lot of cars ahead of us that still need to box here, and I think they're all trying to hold people up for their teammates who are on the hard-medium strategy. So, yeah, that way hard-medium becomes more viable. I think hard-medium in PSL the day before this didn't really work. So the way people are trying to make it work is this way.
More blocking. Red Bull ahead is blocking.
Which actually in some way probably
Staying
makes the
out
race
and
more
over
exciting,
to
because
hard.
if the only other viable option is medium hard, or the actual true viable option is medium hard, then yeah, everyone is doing the same, and it's just going to be a DRS train from start to finish. That's just the issue we have on this game, because overtaking is nearly impossible. Yeah, you need to resort to this kind of stuff. So yeah, we're getting held up a little bit here, and this might raise or hurt or raise massively
What are
in
they
the end.
blocking for though? I'm so confused.
Due to the hard medium runners, yeah, catching up earlier,
I don't know.
and that just might make the difference between them getting past us or not. So yeah, start of lap 15. Again, Chanaka Clay ahead of us. Same issue. He's also blocking for someone. He's not blocking us though. He's letting us through. I guess because we're in championship teammates, although we're not actually in
Also
real life
leading
teammates.
the medium hard pit at lap 10. They only got slowed down a little bit.
You know, he's not a Red Bull esports driver, but yeah, he didn't defend too harsh from us. I guess he also perhaps might have been running low on battery. Yeah, if you're blocking as much as you can, then you probably cannot block everyone non-stop, because yeah, you run out of battery. So lap 16, and now Jake is really close behind us. So I felt like, you know what, let's try and get a move on her. Let's try and go for the move on the car ahead. He's on the same tires, so it's nearly impossible to overtake. We're still going to try it. Into the final two corners we go. We spun here in PSL, but now we got fresher tires. Down the inside we go, and unfortunately we do not have the momentum on the inside to keep that battle going into turn 1. So yeah, we have to tuck in back behind and see if we can go for another move into turn 5. That's the aim. But the issue here, and this is the issue you always have on this game, if we...
So next car blocking, car in P5. Leading this train now, getting overtaken now.
If we push too hard, then we run out of battery, and yeah, then we get passed by Jake, which we've had quite a few times this season.
So
in
car
league
ahead
racing.
of Eastman.
And yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, let's just we're just gonna keep trying and hope that Jan makes a mistake ahead of us. I think there's some blocking going on again ahead of us. You can still see around 5 cars that head into the final corner now on those hard tires on that first set. Ben Sabo still on that first set as well. We're going to try and get past him. You can see how much more grip we have. This is not going to be much of a contest through the second final corner. We go. I picked up a lot of understeer for some reason there. Could be the line, but suddenly Jake went for a massive dive on. And now he's going to be under threat from Duncan into turn number 1. We managed to keep P6. That's where we started as well. But 1 car ahead of us still need to box, so we're technically in P5. But let's see what we can do here with 12 laps to go. Some people have already boxed for any of the mediums. They're going to be very, very fast for the next few laps. And if they catch up in time, it's going to be very hard keeping them behind. And as you can see, start of lap 22, Itmo Fassi right behind us. And this is what I was talking about. You know, we got held up a little bit, and that's it's probably just going to make the difference between them passing us or not. You know, because if they catch up 2 laps later, then the tires are going to be too worn to really make some good moves. Now we get Ismail Fassi into turn 1, relieving the space, and he's going to get the move on. Down to P6 we go.
Otis 80 on the exit.
And yeah, now we get the Otis Lawrence right behind us as well. And the frustrating thing is the tire advantage is too big at the moment for us to really, actively fight this. We can fight this, and sometimes, when we're on the other end, people do this. But what you then do not see from our POV is they just get destroyed, because you spend all your battery fighting people on so much faster tires, and then eventually they will get past anyway. Then you've got no battery, and the people who are on the same tires you are going to get past them as well. So yeah, those 3 cars, we would have not stood a chance. Even if we defended like it was the last lap of a championship, eventually they will get past, because the tire advantage is just too big. If they are on tires that are 1 to 1.5 to 2 seconds.
Lap 14, next hard runner is Ronha in P12.
If the tires are 1 to 2 seconds per lap faster,
18 from Ronha, 18.18.
And this has been a disaster. What the fuck?
If the tires are 1 to 2 seconds a lap faster, then you can defend for a lap. But by the second or third lap, your ERS is gone. And
platform penalty, unsure if legit. And I think I saw one of the Ferraris cross the pit entry line.
And eventually you run out of battery, you run out of tires as well in a long enough period. So we got Jake Benham behind us fighting with his old teammate Danny Resnick. Actually, it's the 3 ex-Mercedes drivers in a row here. We should be safe from any medium runners now. As you can hear my engineer say, Thomas in P12, I think so, on a set of the mediums. But that's what I was talking about earlier. If someone catches 2 or 3 laps later, then you do not have the tires anymore, the tire advantage. You're still going to have a tire advantage, but it's not big enough on this game to get past, because there's so much dirty air and so little slipstreaming, it makes overtaking incredibly hard. And that means you need a massive tire advantage in order to do something. As Jake behind us had a huge screen freeze moment, actually, and that's why he went wide.
Haas pitted 2 before you.
So Haas ahead of us, boxed 2 laps earlier than us, and his tires are completely cooked. And now we're gonna try and go for a move into the chicane, perhaps. Couldn't. We're gonna brake a little bit earlier, and rightfully so, because otherwise we probably would have tapped him around. And now we get a lot more battery, because you can see yours is flashing, and that's going to give us a great opportunity into the fast left-hander. We go around the outside, as there was no space on the inside, and we should have more speed around the outside. And you can see we just carry more speed on the exit. It's just that there's a little bit less grip on the outside there, and that need to move tricky. You can see the rear snapping away, but we're gonna bring it home in P7. That penalty from Julian is gonna get taken away, and our final league race on F125 in P7. Not a great end, but it's actually been a good
job getting that to the finish. Our winner is Poopy Medium Hard 10.
And it's been a good league racing season, actually. Unfortunately we couldn't finish the WR season. There's probably gonna be people in the comments complaining again about it, but that's just how it is. If you find someone who's done more Tier 1 league races over the past 5 years than me, then call me, but otherwise, shut the fuck up. Go eat shit. We gotta prepare for F1 Esports. And that is our next goal. To try and win F1 Esports again. Gonna be very tough, of course. I think we've seen that in PSGL this season. There's a lot of very, very fast drivers. Our teammate Freddie Rasmussen, of course. Thomas Ronhaar obviously will be one to beat again. Otis Lawrence, we've seen in PSGL, he's really, really fast. And I've probably missed another 5, maybe 10 drivers that could win the championship. We're just gonna have to wait and see, because it's still quite a while away. But hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.